is Jamie, and I'm a self-taught psychic medium, pet intuitive, and intuitive coach. And my purpose in this podcast is to help you feel more connected, at peace, living a life that has you feeling fulfilled in all directions, and to uplift you and bring whatever relevant information that I can, because doing psychic readings on the daily, I encounter a lot of stuff and we're all going through similar situations. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. My name is Jamie, and I'm not alone. I have one of my friends, clients, dear Patreon people that I've been, getting to know for probably over a year now. But this is Alexys, and she also has her own podcast. And thank you so much for being here. This is cool, super, fun, hanging out, getting to know you, and being on each other's podcasts. I don't know if you actually even have guests on your podcast, but
we've never had a guest.
Yeah, I really enjoy listening to it because I watch Bravo TV and I really like Below Deck and the Mediterranean one. And I learn a lot from you guys. It's just a lot of fun.
I love that.
What is your podcast name? And tell, a little bit about yourself if you want.
Sure. Hi, everyone. And thanks, Jamie, for inviting me onto your podcast. My name is Alexys, and I co-host a podcast with my best friend, Steven, and it's called Causing a Scene Podcast. And we started it in the middle of the pandemic. He was living with me. He lost his job, and so he was at our house. And so we were always together, and we had kind of always loved listening to different podcasts. And so we're like, hey, let's just do it. So we went on Amazon and bought some microphones and found an app, and we've been doing it for about a year and a half now. And they're totally sporadic episodes, but we just share kind of episode recaps of shows on Bravo, mostly Housewives. That's our favorite, and other shows too. And then we just talk about like what's going on in our lives. And it's been a really fun outlet just to share and be creative.
That and stuff. I love it so much. I'm kind of secretly like envious of you. I think you guys just went to Disneyland or wherever you did. But when I feel like I don't have anyone to do a podcast episode with other than like over Zoom, remotely. But that's cool. I like your guys' friendship. You're super cute. I feel like I know you guys, and I really just like your energy.
Excellent. Well, if you ever come to California, we'd love to go to Disneyland with you.
Yeah. That would be super fun, super cool. I have been in California, but it was really just for like some, convention thing, and we never left the hotel. So definitely down to come back and visit you again.
Absolutely. Especially here, like on the East Coast right now. I know you're like in Florida, right? Yeah. Is it like super cold there right now?
No, it's 70.
Oh, it's 70. Okay. That's kind of similar to how it is here, because I'm in Southern California, like Orange County area. And so it's always pretty nice here as well. But I saw in the news, like there's like that cold front coming in. Like half of the United States is frozen.
Are you like me of don't like the cold at all? I just go into like a depression. It's like a reptile or whatever. When it gets cold, I feel like I just start freezing up.
Yes, I am. I was born and raised in Orange County, so like anything below 70 is like, where's the parka? Where's the beanie? We freeze so easy over here, and we're getting like Santa Ana winds, but they're normally warm, but right now they're cold, and so it's been freezing the last couple of days. And by freezing, that's like 65.
Definitely. Anything under than 60 is no-go for me. So I think it's cool. We've been working together, but we've never actually had a real private, reading. So I think that just like connecting to your guides or seeing what comes up, or maybe just like feeling into fun stuff would be cool if you'd be open and down for something.
I'm down for that. Yeah, totally fun.
You've probably seen through clips and everything in our Patreon group, which I guess I should just say, because I assume that everyone knows everything about me and all the stuff that I do. I have a Patreon group that I put most of my love and energy into, where every month there's different tiers for $1 or $10 or $15 and $30 that you can just watch the videos and the clips that I share, or like Alexys, she has the option where she can ask me 3 questions every month, and we do that. And I send you, I don't know, I feel like they get longer and longer, like a 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute video of you watching me answering your questions. And I like that group. I like how close knit and comfy it is. I also do live readings. I think you've jumped on a couple of them, usually Mondays, where it's kind of like this over Zoom, and I just feel into everyone's stuff. And I'm happy to, I don't know, have you, and you trusted me, like a membership like that. It's like a little tune up every month of, these are my questions. Can you help me out with my life?
It is. I'm always thinking about like, what am I going to ask Jamie this month? What am I going to ask? What comes up? I know in the beginning of the pandemic, Stephen and I, we found Mystic Michaela. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's like a celebrity aura reader, and she was originally on Real Housewives of Orange County. She was friends with Megan King, and Megan King's like really into auras and all that kind of stuff. So she was on the episode, and she like read all the housewives auras and stuff. And ever since then, we like found her. And so we were like obsessed with like figuring out our aura colors. And so Stephen and I are both blue purples. And so we've been learning like so much about like aura characteristics and stuff like that. And then I came across you on TikTok one day, and I just felt connected to you. And they say that sometimes you just kind of meet who you're supposed to. And so I started following you on TikTok, and then I joined your Patreon, and then I've just kind of been hooked since. And I think you're right, it's been about a year. So I'm super excited to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, I love that so much. I bet you feel that way about your community of people, the right people. They just find you however they find you, and we're, lifelong set soul family, I'm sure, here, trying to just like figure everything out. I guess I'm curious, how has your life shifted like in the past year? Just like knowing me and my energy rubbing off of you, of like, you trust your intuition a whole lot, or do you have your own kind of like new spiritual stuff that you do? Like, what's, I don't know, different and cool about your life since you felt more connected to me?
So a lot has changed. When I first met you, I was kind of in this limbo of jobs. So I'm a teacher, and I taught middle school forever. And then I was displaced, which means they no longer had a spot for me at my school. And I was like low man on the totem pole. And so the director of HR calls me, and he's just like, I'm sorry, Alexys, we don't have any spots in middle school in the whole district. We're going to have to transfer you to an elementary school. And I was just devastated. But then I found out that it happened to be the elementary school that I went to as a kid. And my parents still live right across the street. And I did my student teaching there, and I became really good friends with a lot of the teachers. And one of them, I was even a nanny for their kids. And so definitely the universe put me where I needed to be, even though I wasn't sure. And then that's when I met you. And so in the beginning, when I first met you, I started asking like, am I supposed to be teaching here? Am I supposed to be teaching elementary school? Should I go back to middle school? Like all these things. And I was actually just talking to my coworker about this today. And I asked you like, what should I do with my career path? Like, should I try going back to middle school? Should I stay where I'm at? And you said like, I see you working with kids, but in a different way. And so I was like, what the heck? Like teaching is pretty working with kids. So I'm like, how could it be a different way? And lo and behold, I kid you not, like the next week, my principal sent out this email like, hey guys, we got all this COVID money. And so we're having a new position as an intervention teacher. And you're going to be like this and this and this and all these like different like roles. And so it wasn't necessarily just a classroom teacher. And so it is working with kids in a different way. And so I remembered what you said. And I just like, that's, I think the first time I had that like intuition feeling. And I was like, and things kind of just like started clicking. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And I went for it. And this has been probably like my best, even though this year has the worst for so many teachers, this has been like the best year. I found like the perfect spot for me because I still get to work with small groups of kids, but I'm also helping like my colleagues and the principal and learning like how to take on more leadership roles. And so it is, I am working with kids, but in a totally different way. You were like, so right. And it's obviously been super rewarding. And my colleagues have even recognized, they nominated me to be Teacher of the Year this year. So I feel like with your guidance and a little bit of trusting my intuition, I have definitely found where I'm supposed to be. So you're
Oh,
definitely a
perfect.
big part of that journey.
Yeah, I do remember like the beginnings of that of, don't freak out, it's all going to work out. And I was thinking the other day, I hope that I've never told anyone like what they should be doing of like follow your own intuition and been like more vague instead of this is what I see you doing. So, but when I do readings and stuff like that, I just black out. So I don't know what I say, but I'm glad that that was received well and that you did have your, really, really good year when everyone's had such a hard
Absolutely. You gave me, or at least my spirit guides gave you the message, what you communicated to me. They said like before I took this new position last year, that I was like almost like in a tunnel, and like outside of the tunnel was like acid rain, but on the inside it was like calm. And you told me like I could see the light at the end, and when I got there, everything would be calm. And I feel like it's kind of been like that was kind of a metaphor for like this school year. Like it was super crazy, and now I'm like I found my spot. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm connecting that metaphor or whatever, again, that message, but it feels that like the acid rain was while we're figuring our stuff out, everything is working itself out behind the scenes. So cool. It's a scary metaphor, but I like it.
Which
and
is
I like
crazy
how you remember it.
because on my whiteboard, like next to my desk on my at work, I have an affirmation that says everything is always working out for me. So it goes exactly back to that. So I love that.
Good job. Good job. Love your affirmation. I don't use those enough. I should get into them more.
I know there's lots of apps. You can just have one and like the ones pop up all the time. And so ones that like speak to me, I will like write them down somewhere. I have like journals everywhere, everywhere, writing things down all the time.
Yeah, same. I pull up my journals too.
I have like a stack right here.
So about seeing your aura, that's really cool. Can you see it now? I can see it right now. When you stand behind a white background, or can you see mine? Just like focus on your eyes. And I feel like a lot of people in school, I used to do this all the time, stare at the boring teacher and behind them and like, whoa, what's the rainbow going on behind you? My math teacher she's got this different color rainbow. I agree with you about it being green and purple. I also see a lot of turquoise colors, but that's really cool that I don't know, something that it's like a little mind trick, but it's spiritual and there's a lot of meaning behind it. Supposedly like the color of your aura reflects your like mental, emotional, spiritual state and stuff.
Absolutely. Mystic Michaela, I even have she just came out with an angels numbers book, but she on her Instagram, if you just go check it out, she's like her big thing is aura colors. And so she has a breakdown of like all the aura colors and like their personality traits. And she has a podcast too, and she does a really great job of explaining like different colors. And so she told me my husband was a red blue, and red people are like authoritative and like, want to know what like right from wrong and everything has to be right. And they go on these rants and all these things. And so just kind of knowing that information has helped me like to understand him a little bit better. So like, I know when he's going on these rants, it's like, okay, it's not about me. This is just his personality and how he projects things. And so it's just cool. It's just like another one of those like Enneagram numbers or things like that. That just helps you get to know yourself and other people better. So I'm like obsessed. Me and Steven are obsessed learning about our auras.
Like how I'm obsessed with
figuring out what other people's auras are. We love doing that too.
Cool. Well, mine's like a turquoise, green, blue, from what I've seen and from what I know, but
just from personality traits that I've learned from the auras, I could totally see that because turquoise people are like healers and they're like super into like Reiki and crystals. And a lot of times turquoise people, Mystic Michaela explains it as like mirrors. So like they project back to like what other people want like to see themselves and stuff, which makes sense what you do.
That's cool. Have you ever heard of human design? One of those things as well, where they're like a creator, a generator, a manifester.
Yes. I've seen those tests before. I've never taken one, but
I think I'm a projector or reflector or something like that. I know that one of my friends, Jessie Joe, if she's listening to me, she's going to say, no, you're not, because I'm one and not the other. The one that I am is normal and the one that I'm not is rare, but that's cool. If I were more reflector, I feel that, I get that. I see like when people look at me, like there's the best version of you that I like see for you. I think that's cool too. Your guides, I was feeling into you a little bit more to see if there's anything that we could, tap into
Mhm.
or talk about, guidance and fun stuff in your life. Um, your guides feel super playful, that it's good for you to do stuff of, ooh, this is fun. Let me learn about this. Let me dissect this. Let me do that. And also inner child stuff. Were you ever interested in like sciencey, uh, hypothesis and experiments things? I just saw like a glimpse of you when I don't know if this is literal or what, but discovering new stuff, making concoctions, like everything like that. It just makes your inner child kind of happy. um Definitely for you, lots of play, like whenever you feel stuck or in a rut and just disconnected, that's going to be your like best thing that you could do. And also I feel that a lot of energy from the podcast and stuff that you have is a really good creative outlet for you to just like be silly and just be laughing. What kind of questions or maybe areas about your life do we want to like talk about or dig into? I know that like career and podcasts, those are safe, but is there anything or even any pets
Yeah,
that you were curious about or questions about?
we've kind of talked about my dog a little bit. She's definitely interesting. She has a
Uh-huh.
little bit of like anxiety, but she's also part pit bull, which is like normal. But she definitely has an interesting story, and I've asked you a few times about it. So
Sure.
I don't
Let's.
know any specific questions, but also I don't know. I just kind of like learning the fun facts that you kind of share about
Mhm.
her.
Okay, what's your dog's name?
Her name is Mamba.
Mamba. What kind of dog is she relatively? So I can
She's
picture.
so she's half pit bull, and then the other half is mastiff, lab, Rottweiler, and bulldog. But she's black and she has like a white patch on her chest, and she doesn't have like the jowls of a pit bull. But when she sits,
Mhm.
she kind of always looks like a little puppy. She's
Yeah.
cute.
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna connect to you to connect to her and see what kind of comes up. Um, I don't know if this is a personality trait. This is kind of a weird thing that I see. Does she have like a smile, like a like just like smirk, like does her cheeks just like I don't know sit a certain way? That's the
Some
way that I see her.
sometimes like that bottom lip thing when she's kind of sitting, it kind of looks like a little smile. And then she's
It's
kind of
cute.
starting to get like a gray, like little chin. So it kind of looks like a little.
Uh-huh. Something that I still don't know how any of this like psychic and intuitive pet or even people in spirit stuff works, but in my mind's eye I can see animals in spirit, and then I can see like her, not in spirit, but it looks the same. And usually animals will be like in the corner super shy, but when I see her it's like smiling, like cheeks, like, I don't know, squished and stuff. The personality kind of traits that I get from her are so loyal to you and so like emotional. Is she the kind of puppy that she doesn't want to get in trouble? She don't want to like be in trouble, or don't even like look at me that way. It feels like, of course, we would never spank her or yell at her, but like there's that like unwritten kind of rule of I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to treat you that way. I don't know if she was a rescue or not, but was she actually a rescue?
Yeah, she was.
I like this. So animals are all different. A lot of them, they remember their trauma. For her, it feels like she doesn't, but we remember the trauma or like what she could have went through, what we think that she went through. And so I feel like the both of you, I don't know if you actively think about like, oh, your previous life, it was so sad. It feels like she's more of, instead of remembering her previous life, she's just connected to you of like, what happened to me? And we have that like mushy, gushy, like baby sweet connection. She feels like such a gentle giant, and it feels that we're obviously, super connected to her. You guys, have you ever seen that movie, Dog's Life or A Dog's Purpose,
I
where
can't watch it. Like,
it's sad? You guys have that like you want pizza, you want ice cream, that like telepathic connection going on, which is cool, which is rare too. I feel like when we have that dog or that animal, whoever, where there's just that bond,
mhm.
they're my dog, most important thing in my life or whatever, that the telepathic kind of connection is more easier. She also feels like a troublemaker, and does she Is when I see her also, does she scoot her butt? She showed me scooting her butt. I know a lot of dogs do that, but like,
Sometimes she has bad allergies, so it's usually like around
yeah.
that time.
Is there a reason that she scoots her butt? Like her back legs, are they perfectly fine? Or is she just like sit funny? I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes she sits on the couch, kind of like a huge, like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of those memes where like the pipples are like laying on
Yeah.
the, like, so she kind of, we joke she's a human because she can always like, she's always in these weird, awkward positions, like on the couch or like laying on the pillows, like in a weird position.
Mm-hmm.
And so she
Okay.
sits on, sometimes on the couch, she'll like sit on her butt, kind of weird.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's a hard thing for me to help you see what I was seeing, but when I see her, it's like sitting on her butt, but it's like, all right, let me like scooch my legs in more. So that makes sense to me. Just another piece of her personality. Let's see, likes and dislikes, things that she has or wants. Do you try to feed your dog broccoli? Do you prank your dog? Do you trick her of like, here's a good food? Ha, just kidding, it's a vegetable. She's
I think
showing
my
me
husband does that.
spitting it out.
And she'll like get it and then spit it out. Yeah.
um, so I don't know, what kind of questions do we maybe have for her? I jumped over likes and dislikes because it feels like whatever we're doing, she's perfectly fine. Not feeding her broccoli is, something that she's not going to like. But is there anything you're curious about when it comes to?
Maybe if she wants like a companion, because we've gone back and forth, like, should we get another dog? Should we not get another
Uh-huh.
dog? Like, and then
Yeah.
like entertained it and like took her to like meet other dogs, and she's always kind of like doesn't really want much to do with them, and like
I got you.
even at dog parks, she kind of does her own thing. So we're like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
your
Good
true
question.
only child, or would she possibly like a brother?
Yeah, she would like it. Follow your gut instincts of this is what she wants, this is what she wants. I can see that where for her would like a partner companion, but we're probably thinking maybe not because she wants them to like be in her home of like this is my sister or this is my brother. I said sister because I felt like girl dog would be better for her. And then I don't know if she feels like a medium-sized dog, but someone who was smaller and not like a big kind of intimidating big dog. Is she a cuddle bug? Is she a little cuddler?
Yes.
She feels like she wants, when you say companion, it's like, yeah, I want someone to like sleep with and do fun stuff. I don't know if that's because she's older or what, but I would say that it's safe to say yes. Um, Not because she's lonely, not because she's sad, but it feels like she wants someone to like cuddle with, like another kind of sleepy dog. So if we ever did go, want to get another rescue or do what, I don't know if it'd be possible to find someone that was more of a cuddle bug instead of like jumping around, kind of being crazy. And um, I think just so you know, like a puppy would be fine, a rescue would be fine. An older dog, maybe not so much because of obvious things. I just have to know gloves of like snapping and not being on the same page. She definitely needs to feel or wants to feel like the alpha, even though she's a cute little baby girl. But as far as her not being interested in other dogs at the dog parks, I feel like it's just because she's more interested in you guys. Does she play by herself or does she just like stay with you when you guys go to the dog park?
Usually in the beginning, she lets all the dogs sniff her. Like she's the one that'll just lay down and let everyone sniff her, and then she'll like be interested, but then she kind of just follows like us around. So we'll like walk towards other dogs to try to get her, but she'll just like run a few laps and then she'll be like done. Or even like when we go to play ball in the backyard, she'll bring me her ball. She'll be so excited, and I think she likes like the play of me trying to get the ball, and we'll literally throw it like 3 times, and then she's done.
Over it. She's definitely a happy dog, and I can see. I don't know how old is she? She like 6, 7 years old.
About 6, yeah.
She feels like I have so much energy mentally and in playfulness, but probably just run out of gas really, really quickly. Let's see.
Is there anything that we can do like to help her live like a longer life, or is she kind of already have her?
Sure. That's such a good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. They always ask like, Is there anything we could do to make her more happy but longer life? Well, you probably know the obvious. Food is so important. When there's someone who has like a really healthy dog, I'll be like, what kind of food are you feeding your dog? I need to feed my dog that kind of food. But have her have a healthy, happy life. Anything that you guys could be doing. I'm not gonna lie, she's showing me like blankets. Does she ever like showing me like pulling a blanket in her mouth? I know she literally does that. And I've been pushing that out of the way of like, okay, I don't think that's gonna help you like live longer. Just wants to take a nap. I don't think that there's anything that you guys are doing that's preventing anything. And what kind of, this is not to get on to you, it's just because I tapped into it. What kind of water do you guys feed her? Do you give her like filter water, sink water, special water, water fountain water, or you just fill up her water bowl? I feel like there was something there.
That's so funny because my mom has always been an advocate for giving her dog filtered water. And we just give our dog sink water, but maybe my mom has something to do with it.
I think so. I don't know what kind of sink water you have. I'm sure it's perfectly fine, but I was like, oh, there could be some tweaks and changes to the water. And intuitively, if they had some kind of fountain that not just filtered the water, but did other kind of stuff, I think that she would absolutely enjoy that. I don't know if she's a water dog or if she's thirsty or what, but that was like the first thing that came up. And I was like, we're not going to talk about the quality of water. Nobody wants to talk about that, but maybe there's something there. I don't think that there's anything, cancerous or bad. It could be a little bit more of like, she's thirsty. She wants clean water. She wants cold water. While I'm saying that is her, that's not me. It does feel like she wants cold, good. If not filtered water, just like have like clean kind of water. She feels a little bit picky about that. As far as food, what do we feed her if you don't mind sharing? Because she doesn't feel food driven or picky. Maybe she's just not interested, or maybe it's just, to like put food in her belly. Whatever you're doing is fine. But I'm just, it's interesting that she's not like, tell my mom to give, me this and chicken and.
Interesting. So we give her like a dehydrated food. It's like all real food that's been dehydrated. And then I just add hot water and it like rehydrates it. And then I always put in like a little bit of like ground turkey or something like that.
Cool. That's cool. I gave pet rating to someone's like Mancoon cat the other day, and that's what they do too. So I'm sure that I'm sure you did all your research too, but just, yeah, that probably is really, really a great way for her to get all of her nutrition and all the good stuff. Maybe that's why it's not coming up of like, I feel like with the food that I'm trying to find, just like the kibble and stuff, it's not great. So good intuition on you. She feels healthy. Her heart and all of her organs and stuff, they feel like super strong. And I guess giving her a more healthy life. You're doing everything that you should be doing, giving her a happy life, give her more blankets. I know you're talking about playing with a toy and stuff with her. But it feels like she wants like a soft kind of rubber, squeaky kind of ball toy. I have a toy that's just like something that's soft, not like a tennis ball and not like something hard. Just like, does she sometimes, when dogs, they get squeaky toys and they don't like squeak, squeak, squeak it, but they just like squeak like every now and then. It feels like there's a preference for wanting that.
And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about how when she wants to go play ball, she has tennis balls, but they're the squeaky ones, so they're soft, and she literally will just put them in her mouth and it's a game. She'll squeak it and then stop, and then you go, okay, and you go to grab the ball, and then she just moves away and she keeps squeaking it. So it's like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, cool.
How funny.
Cool. She's got her favorite toy already. Happier. Does she sleep in the bed with you, or does she not sleep in the bed? She's showing me like wants to be with you more because she's cuddle. I'm sure she sleeps in the bed, but it feels like, and I'm laughing because you'll know why I'm laughing. It felt like she was like, they kick me out all the time. Like, I want to like be in there and be with you guys and do stuff with you guys. Do you like lock her out?
Okay, so we have to close our bedroom door because if we're at work, she'll just want to be in our bed, in the blankets, like you were saying, all day. And especially like when it's been a little rainy or moist, she goes and runs in the mud. And then we come home and our bed is covered in mud, right? So we've been closing the bedroom door and she gets annoyed. And then when I get home from work, like I'll put my stuff down. I usually give her a little treat, and then she like literally will start walking down the hallway towards our bedroom because she thinks it's like time to go in there. And she'll just like lay there and just looks, and she'll like look like, come on, let's go. And so like when it is time or when the door gets open, we can always find her in there. But when we go to bed, she thinks the bed is hers. And so then we get in and we're getting adjusted. And then she like huffs, like we're in her way. And then she'll like get up and leave and go sleep on the couch. But then in the morning, she always comes in.
Oh, it's funny. I was going to ask you when you guys sleep, if it's just like a big like compile of pillows and her and stuff like that.
Pretty much.
I was asking her like, what's in the bedroom? Why do you want to be in the bedroom? And that's what I saw. Just like, I just want us to all like pretzel it up and like be together and be close. But maybe you should listen to your intuition, what she wants. Instead of her sleeping on the couch, maybe we should sleep on the couch so she can have the bed.
She's definitely spoiled. She's definitely spoiled.
She's definitely happy. If she were my dog, I wouldn't change or, do a whole lot. I would experiment with the water. I feed my dogs like bottled water from a jug just because I don't drink the sink water. So I don't want them, but I don't think there's anything that you need to do. Do you have any questions about her?
She has a little bit of allergies. Like we take her to get an allergy shot, and she's been a little more like itchy lately. And we've been taking her to like get groomed, and they've been using like the hydration stuff for her skin. Is there something like about her skin or itchy?
Yeah. Good thing is I don't think it's food related. If you look under her skin, like armpits and chest, does she get pink? I know she's got darker hair. Can definitely see that. Do you guys, if she were my dog, I would look into all the fragrances that are on her skin, even just like the washing machine, detergent. It feels like she's sensitive to that. I don't think it's anything that's outside, like how there's chemicals in the grass and whatever. I think it's something that's more inside. I don't think it's anything that she's ingesting. Have you had any like gut feelings of like it could be the detergent or it could be the smell or it could be this?
I don't think so because I have pretty sensitive skin. So I use like the zero, like the clean detergents and stuff. Like I'm pretty like using essential oils and like all that kind of stuff. And so and I use all that on the sheets and stuff, but
yeah.
And I know pit bulls kind of have skin issues already. So I don't know if it's just like a genetic thing, but so that's good to know that it's not something we're feeding her.
That's such a hard thing. My own dog's got his own skin issues and I'm trying, like I said, this. I wish it was, here's what it is. This is what it is. But maybe you're right about the genetics and stuff. I'm just happy to know that it doesn't feel that it's food related or like, outdoorsy. Something that, let me see, that I would do if she were my dog. I mean, you have your essential oils, so I'm sure that you have coconut oil and give her that when it feels like it's even kind of extra dry, but I would pinpoint it as some kind of like chemical or something. It's hard for me to read my own animals. Well, it's really just hard for me to read my cat. I didn't know I was pet intuitive because I had a cat that I couldn't read. And so she was like sneezing. And I took her to like see some other pet intuitive and they said that it was chemicals. And I kind of did that, like, no, it's not. I don't have chemicals on my body or around me. But the mop kind of stuff that I was using was like, I don't know, not great. So
yeah, I don't think about that.
Yeah, be thinking like things like that of like, could it be that? Because after she'd been sneezing stuff, I moved to a different house where I was using the mopping stuff and she was fine. And now came back, to this house and she's been sneezing again. So just keep in the back of your mind different kind of chemicals that it could be. And of course, trust your gut, the feelings of like, is it this or it's not this, to really try to narrow that down. But I think the best thing that you could be doing for her is probably just, keeping her skin moisturized. internally and then externally, different kind of like oils or whatever we're comfortable with. And then some kind of, you know how people, they feed their animals fish oil. There's a lot of don't use this, yes, use this. Do some research with that, see if that would help. Just like we would think, the way that I can see medical kind of stuff, it's like they need some lubrication on the inside. That's what I feel for her. So that's just what I think of, like, get some coconut oil like in her body, so it's like in her system and stuff.
Sounds good. I used to put a little bit of coconut oil on her food, and I stopped doing that. So maybe I should start doing that again. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that used to come up so much in pet readings. I feel like we should all be doing that. I feel like we should all give our dogs organic, good, you know, virgin coconut oil. And also, what was I going to say? Am I not supposed to say it? Spirit guides. Brushing our dog's teeth and our cat's teeth like as much as we can, and cleaning out their ears as much as we can, just because in my readings it's like I know you're doing a great job and you're a great owner, but there's a lot of plaque that's like getting worse and worse and worse, and I can, you know, sometimes like feel it in my gums and things. I was just throwing that out there, different kind of pet tips that I know that
absolutely. I love that.
Well, cool. She's happy. She's good. You know what she wants. You know what she needs. I always tell people also, you know, your pet's better than me or any kind of doctor, because you're constantly connected. And even though you might not think that you're telepathically communicating, like, you know where she is right now. You know what she's thinking right now. You know when she's hungry, and you know that it's 5 o'clock and blah, 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 all kinds of stuff like that.
I love that.
Awesome.
How about we've done a couple of things about like chakras before. I'm like starting to like learn a little bit more about that stuff.
Okay, cool. Do you have a meditation? Do you meditate? I don't meditate, so
I try to, like, you know, I have like apps and stuff. You know, I'm not like an expert or anything, but it's definitely something I try to incorporate into my life.
I say I don't meditate just because I don't want us to feel bad for not having some kind of meditation practice every day. I do when I can, when I remember, when I need to, and I think everyone should when they
kind of the same way.
But chakra stuff, I got excited because I was just doing live readings on TikTok, and I was like, your chakras are unbalanced. You did?
I saw you. You were doing like some birth charts and stuff.
So of course. Aren't I always? So I don't know what kind of chakra stuff you want to do, but I'm just going to go right into your body and see what's coming up and what I feel. I feel a lot of ungroundedness in the root chakra. You know, what I actually see is like that it's actually like literally just like out of place. And I've never seen anything like, I've never like seen someone else's chakras or just like try to feel into it. But I think that when we're grounding, when we're trying to do stuff, when we're walking out in nature, it's almost like we are so freaking ungrounded that we only get like half of the benefits. So for you, how I think that we could kind of snap this back into place from your spirit guides is kind of getting serious about, you know, Epsom salt baths or sea salt baths or some kind of like getting things out of your body. And when I say getting things out of your body, getting things that are making you feel stressed out and ungrounded and that you're not doing a good enough job. Let me see what else snap back into place is going to help you with your root chakra. Do you do a lot of jumping? This is weird. Do you do jumping, dancing, you know, something like that sometimes? What your guides are showing me is, you know, when we're a kid and we're on the trampoline, we're trying to like double bounce or double jump. If you were to like jump, that for some reason that was going to like help it or snap it into place or just like align it a little bit more. And it feels like it's like always for you, like going back to like inner child stuff, like your kiddishness. Last thing I wanted to say, then I'll let you talk, is it feels like that's not all by chance of like that kid motion of like jumping into place. It's also going to be like releasing stress for you, and just like, I guess, like help us get grounded or help us do something. That's cool. You and Steven should do things like that, of like have, I don't know, an inner kid child day that's not, you know, just going to Disneyland. It's like getting all your frustrations out. Other stuff that I feel for you is you're good. Like your heart chakra is really good and open and everything it needs to be doing. Your solar plexus, which is my most problematic kind of thing. Yours is good. Yours is different. I feel like you know who you are and where you're going and how to say stuff. And we don't have a whole lot of what do people think about me? The other thing that I really like about you is your crown chakra is like open and like swimmingly good of your new, you feel like you get, or I would assume that you have like, I got an idea. I got an idea. I got an idea. And also intuitively, it feels like we do something about that. You know how people like me, I get an idea, I put it in my phone. Whatever you're doing of like getting that idea and like doing something with it, or just like putting a pin in it and remembering it and saving it, it's working out for you. You know, creative kind of wise. So I'll let you talk. When you say let's talk about chakras or playing the chakras, what did you want to feel into? Like your chakras?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's so interesting, like learning about like if they're open or if they're closed, or like
Right.
I feel like it's just another way to like kind of get to know. And it's so funny because I go to therapy, and when you're talking about like the root chakra and stuff, like that's what I'm like, a bottler, right? So I'm always like suppressing all my stress and stuff, which is like kind of what you were saying about how it's like off.
Uh-huh.
And my therapist is always saying that stuff too, like your inner child, like you have to like take care of that little girl inside of you and do those things. And so I know I guess I've just been putting it off, so now I'm hearing it from her and you and stuff. So I guess it's just something I know that I need to like
Yeah.
to
Listen to
work.
the things.
Absolutely.
Nothing else about you and your chakras and your energy stuff is jumping out that needs to be, or you know, that has room for growth or anything. Everything that you're doing, I like it. I like where you are mentally and emotionally. I don't know if you agree or feel the same way, but it feels good. It feels like we know where we're going and we're excited and we're not like gonna get stuck in ruts. Um, I think that we've worked on and like programmed ourselves to snap out of a lot of things. So, well, I don't know.
I like that. How about my like my third eye chakra? I'm always curious about that one. Like when I meditate, I'm always like, that's the place I want to put my crystals.
Uh-huh. I used to be so, I would just say like obsessed with like, how do I open it? How do I do
Yeah,
how
I'm so
how
curious.
do
And you're
how
always like with all your like coaching classes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to know. I just want to know more. And so I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could. So I'm always curious.
Yeah, you definitely could. You could definitely join my one that's starting in 2 days. I have, yeah, every month I have coaching classes
So
and we do
fun.
fun stuff like, you know, things like this of here's how to get unblocked and here's like your fears and stuff. So I'm just ranting. Your third eye, it feels good. Do you have really vivid, weird dreams, like Candyland looking dreams? That's the energy that I get behind like what's going on and like your imagination and your third eye stuff that you see so much, just like who also like Willy Wonka, like looking figures and stuff. So it's good. It might be a little bit dusty. How you could really connecting to kids stuff again, how we could really like open that up and be working with it is like doing all the imagination stuff that you used to just like anyone else like play pretend where you used to see like there's a purple unicorn over there. I think that just like playing with that in your mind of can you picture or visualize a purple unicorn in the corner, or just like dream or visualize like it raining in the room where you are, and just like all the fun pretend imagination stuff is going to help even more open that up for you. But it feels like it's good. It feels like it's too grown up. It feels that there's so much more like imagination stuff that we could be doing that I'm sure that this is true, is even going to help us like manifest kind of wise. That's just a different random weird thing that I tapped into of you can't manifest all this stuff in your life if you can't even visualize it in your imagination. So play around with that more of like what you want, you know, for Mamba to have super clear skin. Let's visualize that, see it and believe it. But it feels fine to me. I mean, I didn't know what we're looking for or tapping into. And you say what's going on with third eye, I just see like a bunch of weird looking structures and stuff. And it feels like kiddish, but it feels neglected almost in the way of there's a lot of action going on. And we're being too like tough on ourselves, trying to, I don't know, trying to make things that like make our intuition be what it's not when we already have like all these amazing stuff going on, like your crown chakra being open. So that's cool. There's good stuff. Nothing feels that it's like blocked or stuck or not spinning. It just felt like it was dusty. Like neglected.
That's so funny that you talk about Willy Wonka, because I was reading Brene Brown's new book the other day, The Atlas of the Heart. And it's so funny because there was an excerpt from Willy Wonka when they're on the boat and he's like saying that poem really fast and they're in like that whole thing. That's so weird that just said that, because I literally like just read that the other day.
Interesting. Synchronicity. It's like a wink from the universe. So
I love those.
Listen to what that crazy girl's talking about, or go feed your inner child and watch Willy Wonka for the third time.
Hey, why not? Right? I love that.
I don't know. What else could we do or talk about? Or maybe this is good for now. Do you have any questions or insightful things that you were curious about your life?
No, sometimes it's like, it's like, do you want to know everything? No, do you not? I don't know. No. Is there any just like, how about anything from my spirit guides or any? Sure. I know we've tapped into like my grandma before, my grandpa.
Yeah. More stuff from your guidance or things that you want to know. I think it's so fun being on the other side of the chair because I don't think about that. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth or what I tap into, but it's never anything that's, something that we don't need to know. I think when people start asking about relationship stuff of like, what do they look like? What do they look like? Like that takes the fun out of it. But as far as psychic stuff and intuition stuff, there's nothing that I could tap into that you don't need to know or that you maybe. I think that more fun, more jokes, more laughing, more play would be like what our soul is just like jumping out, screaming, just like, don't forget about me. Other stuff in your life. I'm excited about your dog and how happy she is and how connected that you guys are, and maybe even getting another puppy or someone that would be a really good playmate with her. Thinking about career, if there's anything that we need to talk about, or intuition, your spirit guides, if there's anything super coming up. For a career, just because I felt like it was coming up, there's stuff that we're doing in our life that we could be doing in the classroom. So what I mean by that is, how we were just talking about Brene Brown, and I saw you read about Willy Wonka, or she was talking about Willy Wonka. It's like things like that. Your guides want you to, it's not happening by chance. Let's talk about this in the classroom. Let's use this as an example. And it felt that there was some kind of like boundary that needed to be tested there. What I mean by that is not going by the rules and just like using your playfulness energy of like, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to be super spontaneous. We're going to talk about this. Kid over here, you look like you're sad. Let's talk about a day being sad instead of being so by the book. Just felt like it was coming up. That's cool. Do you have freedom when it comes to like your teaching and style?
Kind of. And that's so funny because I had to write like an essay for my teacher of the year stuff. And like, it's kind of, you just kind of touched upon like all the things that we talked about, like how teaching the whole child and how it's so important to like, I went to this training and it was called Capturing Kids' Hearts. And it's basically like, you can't get to their mind until you get to their heart. And then so like, taking the time to like build those relationships and like when they're having a bad day, stop and talking about it. So you definitely hit the nail on the head with all that. And that's like when I first, and I even actually just wrote about this when I first started teaching, like, I don't know if you remember when you were in school, but it was like bell to bell instruction, like don't waste a single minute, like every minute's important. And it's like, but is it? Because if you're dealing with behaviors and everything the whole time, like you're really never going to get to the what you need to teach them. And so that's definitely one of like my big philosophies of teaching. Like, hey, we're going to take 10 minutes right here to talk about so-and-so's day, but then we're going to have 20 minutes of really good instruction. Whereas before it would have been 30 minutes of the kids checked out. I'm trying my best, nothing's working and not getting any results. So definitely focusing on everything, those relationships and those important things. It's not
the
just
different
school. Absolutely.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head with like following your intuition and how you need to show up and be best and win the teacher of the year.
Oh, thank you.
So, good
I'll
job.
find out tomorrow. A message. I'm sure you probably already know the answer.
I think you got it, but I'm sure there's like free will where some reality you got it, some reality you didn't get it, and you're supposed to pick, the path and the timeline and what you need to learn from that.
Absolutely. I've been nominated twice before, and so it didn't work out before. So maybe there was a reason why it wasn't supposed to work out before. Maybe it'll work out this time. So.
Cool. Well, let me know. Keep me updated.
I will, definitely.
This was fun. This was nice. It was nice chatting to you. I can't believe how much time flew. We'll have to, circle back, do this again. Or if you guys have guests, I'd love to.
Oh, yeah. I know we really never had like an official guest. So it might be really fun having like a real psychic on our podcast, especially because we're always talking about that kind of stuff. And we're definitely not experts at all. But we're learning and growing and having fun, getting to know all that fun stuff. So
scare your co-host with what's going on with his body and what his animals really think of him, if he even has any.
Oh, I know he's so into it. He loves it. Like he when I started getting into it, he I think he was kind of always into it, and so it kind of sparked it with both of us. So now we're kind of parallel journeys, and he just started cosmetology school, and so he's definitely like really busy right now. I know I've been like sending him texts all week like, I love you, I hope you're doing okay, because he's probably just so, cosmetology school is like 7 to 4:30 every day. It's a long day, so
but it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love to get some guidance or something.
Yeah, or both of you guys on here next time.
That would be really fun.
Like Steven, we talked about you a lot.
He'll be excited. I've showed him a few of the videos that you've done for me, like on Patreon and stuff like that. And so he knows me pretty well. And so a couple of times he's like, oh my gosh, she knows exactly everything. So he's excited too.
So cool. All right, Alexys. Everyone listen to her podcast. You're such an amazing, bright, bubbly person. I'm so happy to know you and met you. And
I know, I'm glad our worlds collided.
Definitely. All righty. Well, until next time, thank you so much.
All right. Adios.